Resellers, today we got Yeezy officially back in a huge way. Is Jordan killing its own brand? And retail stores just declared war on resellers, but at what cost? Welcome to Sneaky Sunday, we are back in the studio. But that definitely doesn't mean the Asia tour is over. Oh no, it is just getting started. I cannot wait for you guys to see what's coming up. Definitely get subscribed for that. I'm not even gonna tease anything. But we have some pretty crazy stuff to get into, so let's get into it. First things first, not only am I back, but Sneaky HQ is back. And Sunday, the 16th of August, is going to be the biggest drop ever. I'm gonna be listing sneakers and clothing at pretty insane prices, including some for absolutely free. Like I'm giving them to you. You definitely don't want to miss out. I'm gonna give you more details next Sunday. The website will be going live at these times. Just keep in mind that members will get exclusive early access. Either way, we need to talk about this news because first things first, let's just go over the Yeezy situation. It's pretty insane. So last week we spoke about the groundbreaking news that Yeezy and JD Sports were partnering together. But at that point, we hadn't had an official announcement. Well, now we do. JD Sports just posted this, Yeezy at JD. So they've got the drop date, which is August the 13th. I'll show you what's actually going to be releasing, but they say only at JD because they are the exclusive partner. So Yeezy won't be available at, Foot Locker and all these other random retailers, literally just JD. So what's actually going to be releasing, you ask? Well, first of all, it has to be the Yeezy slides. These are easily going to be the most popular things that we kind of knew about, but now we know exactly how many colors, and it's a lot. So we've got like this brown pair, the blue pair, a different color of brown, a tan pair, a solid white pair, of course black, and gray. So 7 colorways of the Yeezy slide. They're gonna retail for $45, I believe. And then here is all of the different places where they're going to drop. There's the store list. Now, I'm not gonna read off all of these, but you can see they're pretty much everywhere across the US. It does seem like as of right now, it is US only. So everywhere else, I guess we're just gonna have to wait. But yeah, if you live around any of these stores, you can literally walk in and buy Yeezy products, which is just mind blowing. But like I said, that is not all. There is a bunch of other options apart from just Yeezy slides. We've also got the AQ01 over here, the Bully sneaker, a woman's heel slipper thing, which I haven't actually seen before, the YS02. And of course, if you want any more information on any of these, I've done reviews on all of these shoes except for the women's ones. So if you do want to catch any of that, I will leave it linked down in the description so you can see what they look like on foot, what the sizing's like, etc. As for pricing, it seems pretty much just a $5 to $6 bump up from what they're available on Yeezy's website. So not too crazy. Like you can go to Yeezy.com and buy the slides for $40, but at JD it's $44. So really not bad. The craziest part about this is like it does really signal that Yeezy is back. If a huge company like JD is willing to take another shot at collaborating with Kanye West, I could see a lot of other brands and companies opening the doors if this goes well. We potentially could see collaborations on different sneaker models. We could see more different retailers jumping in. But it all really hinges on if this product actually sells on August the 13th. We're gonna have to wait and see if people start flooding the stores like it seems like, the buzz online is kind of indicating that this is extremely hyped up. We could see a lot more in the future, and we don't have to wait to see what the future holds, because just like we spoke about last week, Ye has been teasing a bunch of other shoes which are in the works. First of all, we looked at this image last week. It's the Yeezy 800. We just got an official confirmation of the actual name. We've got these tan military boots, a pair of black leather boots as well. But we also got some new images like these of upcoming colorways. So these photos are actually stuff that Kanye West put on his Instagram story. So you can see like there's 4 different colors that are somewhat the same, just a little bit different variations of each other. And he called them the 800. So this is the next version of the Yeezy 700. And of course, with all of this Yeezy.com product going to JD, we have to assume that these are also going to be sold at JD Sports, most likely for $100 or less. We haven't actually seen anything from independent Yeezy over $100. These boots could also be available in store at JD, which would be pretty crazy. This is a little look of Kanye West wearing them, and then this is probably an AI image, but a mock-up of what they could look like. It's also been really interesting to see people talk about these. They're saying like, oh, they're just, Asics or Saucony ripoffs. It's like, we do have to remember, the Yeezy 700, the dad shoe thing really was made popular by Kanye West. And then all of the other brands started piling on and releasing their versions, and that's like one of the most popular styles today. So I think it's a little bit of a stretch saying that that Kanye is now ripping off other people, even though obviously, you know, we all see this is a retro runner style. Either way, I would love to know your guys' thoughts on all of this. Will you actually be going to JD to buy stuff, or are you just shocked by the news? Because that's kind of the key thing here. Everybody's talking about this, but will they actually go out and buy this stuff? But moving on, this one is pretty mind-blowing. Eminem Encore 4s are coming back. Huge breaking news. Now, this does have a little bit of nuance and a little bit of a switch up in terms of the actual colorway, but let's get into it. So we actually have quite a lot of information with this pair of shoes. It's going to be dropping next year, May 2027, and it's basically a retro of the Eminem Encore 4s, but instead of the red accents that were on that original pair, we now have purple accent colors. But according to Z Sneakerheads and all of the people that leaked this information, that's pretty much it. So you get a little bit of, you know, a little can of paint, a little red paint thing, and just, you know, paint over the purple, you're good. And again, just to give you like a little look of what the originals look like, well, this is the actual original, but this is the 2017 retro. So you could see it's got the red on the tongue and then the red on the back. So this isn't going to be necessarily, well, I guess we don't really know, but I don't think it's going to be like an official Eminem collaboration. It's like a inspired colorway. But this is where things get a little bit strange, because I feel like the opinions about Jordan Brand doing stuff like this, like retroing grails, is heavily contested. On one hand, you have people saying, great, make all of these sacred shoes that Jordan Brand has in their vault, make them available to everyone. The undefeated 4s and all of those crazy retros that we've been getting, like just open the vault and drop them all. Then on the other hand, you have people that are not happy about this. They feel like Jordan Brand is devaluing their product by just making their special sneakers that were super limited just available to anyone. And you could clearly see this in the comment section. We got people like Ad Sneak saying retroing a grail doesn't make the retro the grail. So what does it make it? Because these shoes that were held in such high regard, if people just get their hands on it and everybody is saying, oh, you just got the inspired colorway, you got the loser version, it takes away a lot from people actually wanting the pair of shoes to begin with. But of course, you do have people super excited about this. The great Jordan reset is upon us. The perfect time to cop every shoe you ever dreamed of. If Jordan Brand has to resort to dropping the grails, it's already dead. That has 180 likes. When I seen the undefeated 4s were not as coveted as they once were, I knew they were cooked. Still got my pair though. I liked the undefeated 4s. So yeah, I think it's really a strange topic, because I feel like everybody has these different opinions. And you know, obviously people that have been wanting sneakers and they know all of the stories behind these crazy drops, like, you know, we all knew the story of the undefeated 4s, but then to finally actually be able to have them, it was a pretty crazy experience. But again, people have differing opinions, so I'd love to hear yours down in the comment section. Do you think this is a good thing that Jordan Brand is re-releasing all of these retros, or do you think it's kind of the end game and this is what kills Jordan Brand? We are in a pretty weird space where you could take a look at specifically Jordan 1s. They have been cooked beyond belief in terms of their monetary value. You take a look at some of the, you know, the 2019 prices for the same pair of shoes, and then you look back now and Jordan 1s are just so much more affordable. I mean, some of these you're able to go into like a Ross or like a Burlington and you can find these things, you know, discount stores. You can find older pairs of Jordans that just never sold at Nike factory outlets. So it's a strange place that Jordan Brand is in right now. It seems like they're super reliant on retro models, and maybe retro models isn't the thing right now. But to me, and to I think a lot of people, it does seem cyclical, like this will come back into the cycle in the next few years, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, love to know what you think. Let's keep it moving. Right, sticking with Jordan 4s, we just got our first looks at the Bred colorway, which is going to be dropping this year. So here you go. This is the upcoming Bred. So again, it's another retro of the Breds, but this time true to the OG. So we got the nubuck, no leather switch ups or anything like that. We've got pretty much everything that people wanted with this pair. You can see all of the details over here. They're going to be dropping, I believe, for $230 on November the 28th. Now, I would love to know what you think about this, because some people say that this is too soon. Is it too soon? Like, are you still probably rocking the leather ones that, you know, didn't release that long ago? They will be coming in the Jordan face box, like a lot of these pairs have been coming with. I think ever since the Lakers 4s, they've been coming in these Jordan face boxes, which is quite nice. But yeah, there you go. With the Bred 4s are back again. Right, quick look at Nike's calendar, because there's a bunch of like kind of smaller releases that I think are pretty sick. First one, the Ja 4s are dropping on August the 13th. 15th in the Nightmare colorway, which I think is really, really nice. Definitely out there in terms of colors. Like, it's going to be a very, you know, poppy shoe, probably something that you want to wear on court rather than casually, just because it's so loud. But I don't know, you know, these could look sick with a bunch of different outfits. We'll have to wait and see. I'm very keen to try these things out. I don't know if they trump the 3s for me. I've been loving the 3s, and I do kind of like this design, but I don't know. I think the 3s still might have my heart. August 15th, we're getting another New York to New York Ja 4, which is also pretty nice. The Kobe 5 Hyper Royal, or maybe the Dodgers colorway. It looks very inspired, very Dodgers themes, but they just don't name it that. $190 for these, and again, they're dropping on August the 15th. August 20th, we're getting these freaky deaky Goadomes with the holes cut out. That looks like a crazy idea, but I don't know if I mind it. Like, it's kind of cool. I don't know if I would wear them though. I just really don't think that they would go with very many outfits. They're just a little bit random, but $185 dropping on the 20th. August the 21st, we're getting the $250 Foamposite Pros in the camo colorway. These are nice, but $250 is a bit much. And then August 22nd, we've got the Laser Pack, which is comprised of 2 different models. We've got the Jordan 1 and the Jordan 3. So the Jordan 1 Low, this is pretty nice. I actually really like the laser engraving. They are $165 though, so they're definitely up there in price. God damn, they're expensive. But it does look like more premium materials. Like, these look very well made. They look nice. In my opinion, the 3s take the cake though, $230. These things are just phenomenal color blocking, really nice laser engraving. This is the one. This is a beautiful pair. And those are the main ones I wanted to highlight. Of course, there are some other ones in here which you can see all of the different release dates if any of them catch your eyes, but let's keep it moving. Very interesting. Zellerfeld and Nike are going to be doing a 1000.3. You know, we had the 1000s, the 0.2s, and this one is now going to have Nike by You customization. That is a very cool idea. I love this concept. So you can get your 3D printed shoes, but you can custom create whatever color blocking you want. Now, I assume because they're all monochrome, you'll only be able to choose like the actual shoe color and then the air unit color. I don't think you'll be able to change anything else, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But you'll also be able to choose custom text and symbols like you normally could from Nike by You. Apparently, it's going to cost $200 and take 3 to 5 weeks for delivery. I think this is a really cool idea, and I cannot wait to see what you're actually allowed to customize, because I think it's really, really cool. With 3D printed shoes, you can create some wild stuff. This one's just a very small little piece of information, but it could be pretty big. Nike just quietly teased a new Kobe shoe. So they have this image of this like concrete plaque thing with all of the different Kobe sneaker outsoles kind of molded into the cement. And a lot of people can recognize all of these different models, except for this one right at the end. This is the new model, which potentially could be releasing relatively soon. As far as we don't really have much information to go off of, except for the fact that it's going to be a future model that we haven't seen yet. So I guess it's just a little bit of information to know that they're still cooking up new Kobe's. That's about it. August the 28th, it has just been confirmed that we are going to be getting a Westside Gunn collaboration Saucony Grid Jazz 9 Awesome Gods is what they're calling the colorway, and it is wild to say the least. But I'm not gonna lie, this fit that he's put together actually makes them look sick. So here's the closest look that we have. Just, I mean, it's like throw everything onto a shoe in the craziest way possible, and this is the outcome. And I'm not gonna lie, somehow it works. So you've got like a bajillion different animals on here. Maybe I can see zebra, maybe some, I don't even know what this is, a giraffe. You got some freaking, I don't know, is this cheetah or leopard or something like that? You got a bunch of animals on here. And there's also like tie-dye sections. We've got some like images of the leather insole, which looks amazing. You've got a scorpion on one side. Like, these things are just wild, but I am so here for it. Again, 28th of August. Let me know, are you rocking with these or no? A little bit further down the line this year, at Complex Con, apparently we're going to be getting the Satoshi Vans, which I had a look the other day at the resale price of these things. It's insane. For that original black colorway, it's like 2K or something, just absolutely mind-blowing. So this is the next one. It's an all-over blue pair, but follows the exact same blueprint of those. It's pretty much identical, literally just a color switch. And yeah, they're going to be dropping at Complex Con in Los Angeles on October 3rd to 4th. Nike just unveiled a new hybrid sneaker, which is interesting. So we got two new models actually. We've got kind of like the race day one, you know, the more expensive one, and then the breakdown model, which is just kind of like the training version. Hybrid shoes right now are a huge thing. A lot of people really like them. Obviously, you know, High Rocks is super popular right now, but these do translate very well into everyday shoes because they have to be created for so many different scenarios that they end up being really comfortable, really stable, well cushioned, and just really work well. I mean, Nike absolutely killed it with the drop set, so we'll have to see how these stack up to those. Visually speaking, I like it, but we'll have to wait until I think September the 20th. Oh no, so September the 24th is going to be the China early access, and then the global launch is going to be October the 8th. A little while in the process, and then the race day version, that's for the serious High Rocks people, and that's going to be April 2027. Just wanted to give you a quick update on those jellyfish that we spoke about last week. So we actually do kind of have a release date. This is for like the light blue and tan pair. These are going to be dropping September, so kind of right around the corner, not too far, obviously $300. They'll probably pop up on the confirmed app, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with this release because, you know, we got the white pair, which was basically available to anybody who wanted them. Will this one go straight back to being super limited, or are they just opening the floodgates on future colorways of the jellyfish? We'll have to wait and see. Nike is apparently going to be releasing a Medicom toy or Bearbrick pair of Air Forces along with like an actual Medicom toy, an actual Bearbrick with a Nike tech fleece. So the Air Force One is going to have its 45th anniversary in 2027. So we could just imagine there's going to be a bunch of collabs, but this is what apparently is going to be dropping potentially next year. We don't have too much information on it, just this image. So I guess we can, you know, as soon as we get any more information, I will let you guys know, but let me know your thoughts on this. But let's talk about how specifically Target is targeting these resellers. This is pretty wild, and it's a little bit more controversial because some people hate this, some people are celebrating. We spoke about this before where Target officially banned resellers and they started implementing these new tactics on how to stop scalpers and resellers from coming into their stores and clearing out their inventory of Pokemon cards. So the first of their latest tactics to deter resellers is pretty simple. They've just basically made an entire shelf dedicated to Pokemon cards deeper in the store. So previously it used to be right at the front where they could come in, grab stuff, and check out. But now it's deeper into the store. It's behind like glass cases and stuff like that, and it's got its own dedicated area, just making it maybe just a little bit more annoying for resellers. This one's not that controversial. Everybody seems to be relatively happy about this. But this next one is where they take things to a whole new level. So what we have here is a video of Target employees tearing open the Pokemon card boxes or the trading card boxes and then putting them on the shelf. So they're literally removing the factory packaging, the seal on these boxes, which obviously is a huge thing in trading cards. So we've got comments here like, shouldn't they now be considered opened packages and be required to be sold at a discount since they're no longer in factory condition? This isn't cool. That's like a person saying, I'm gonna wear your shoes before you can so that you can't resell them. Some people absolutely love this. I don't know. I'm not a card person, so you're gonna have to let me know down in the comments if this is horrific or if this is a good thing, because all I do know is that the reseller problem in the card space is absolutely out of hand. But is this taking it too far? That wraps it up for this week's episode of Sneaky Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to always stay in the loop and to catch the next episode from the Asia tour. It is a wild one. And of course, don't forget Sneaky HQ next Sunday. That's gonna be a good one that you don't want to miss. Either way, in the meantime, if you want to catch another video, I'm gonna chuck one up in the top left-hand corner. Click on it to check it out.